as I discussed in episode 133 last week, this is the first phase that I mentioned, and I listed out seven different phases that I have sort of, I don't know, that have become obvious to me, and having gone through various seasons of where I've been called to walk by the Spirit and not by sight. And so the first phase is like the triggering event or the catalyst or whatever it is that's leading you to take this leap of faith. So that's what we're diving into today. Now, we often hear it referred to, we often say, you know, a leap of faith, take a leap of faith, right? But it's not always a leap. A lot of times it's more of a push, or let's say a gentle nudge maybe. And so I have some examples of what this looks like, since it isn't always really obvious at the beginning. And that sort of call can come in a lot of different forms. Sometimes it won't even really look like a leap of faith at all at first. It might just seem like a situation presenting itself to you and you're trying to figure out how to navigate it. Or it could be that you pray about something and then you kind of get an answer and you're given this sort of decision point to move forward, and then a series of events will start to unfold when you like lean in and move forward on that like answered prayer or that guidance that you might receive. And then of course other times it's so obvious that you can't miss it, like there's no questioning that you're being led to take a leap of faith. And actually in my experience, a lot of times you will literally feel it in your body in some instances. So one thing that I've learned in looking back on all of these different seasons I've moved through over the last 10 years, and sort of learning to walk by faith and not by sight, is that all of these seasons that we go through in our lives, they serve a couple of different purposes, a few different purposes. So the first one is the growth and evolution of your soul, right? We don't always think about it that way when we're in the situation that leads us to take the leap in the first place. However, hindsight being 2020, you look back and it's very obvious to me now that that is definitely one of the purposes. The second one is to bring you closer to or in alignment with the life that you're actually destined to live, which will always follow the desires of your heart, right? Like our hopes and goals and dreams are actually placed there by God, and they're kind of our guiding light, if you will, or like the compass within us. And when we follow them, things will start to unfold to kind of help us get where we're going. And things will start to happen in a very serendipitous and more easy and flowy type of a way. And when we're not in alignment with that, and sometimes we can get really far away from it. So sometimes that's the purpose of a leap of faith, or a season of being led to learn to walk by faith and not by sight, is to bring you closer to being in alignment with those things that you're destined for. The third one is refinement. And so this is really more about kind of it's related to spiritual growth. It's sort of a process of bringing you more into alignment with your spirit as opposed to your flesh and the things of the world. And then the fourth one is to really lead you back to the truth of who you are, which again is a spirit residing within this physical body, as opposed to the physical body and the identity that is associated with your physical body in this world. So those are some of the kind of things, I guess,